rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
The most prestigious event in the British basketball diary and the culmination of the Super League basketball season. It's time for the playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season take part in a seeded knockout competition to determine who are the best ballers in the country. Franchises are seeded according to their final positions in the championship table. They must battle through 2-legged quarter-final and semi-final ties if they have any hope of booking a place at the grand finale in London at the O2 Arena on May the 18th. Let the games begin.
Good evening and welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's playoff time in the Super League and a place in the semi-final is on the line in today's second leg matchup between Manchester Basketball and the Newcastle Eagles. The Eagles held strong on home court on Friday night in the first leg, coming away with a 7-point win. So Manchester today need a win by 8 or more to advance. For the Eagles, a win by any amount or a loss by 6 will see them through. And the London Lions await the winner of this game. Caroline Bullock here with Jason Swain as we get ready to tip off in around 8 minutes time. So Jason, it's all to play for today. It's win or go home time in the playoffs.
Yeah, what a game and what an atmosphere we have in this building at the National Performance Centre. A sellout crowd on hand to witness what could possibly be a real triumph for Manchester Basketball at home. But the Newcastle Eagles, they're not going to lie down, that's for sure. 7 points up, they have the advantage.
You said it there, Jason, 7-point win for Newcastle. They were able to come back from a deficit in the first half to take the win over Manchester in that strong second half we saw from the Eagles.
Yeah, they were, but the turnovers right at the end for Manchester and a 4-point swing in the final minute would mean that 7 points is the deficit. How different that would have been from 3 points, we will only know, but both teams can get it going. And the comforting thing is Manchester have their 6th man in the building, the emphatic crowd, and they're at home, and they've been really, really good in this building in the second half of the season.
And these teams went 2-2 in the regular season. It's just even between both of them.
It is, and there's nothing really to show. Newcastle, yes, they have some injuries in terms of Del Pesh and Alan Aiken, but also Nathan Keogh is out for tonight's one, and Cody John was ill on Friday night's game. So really, it's as balanced as it can get.
So all the other semi-final places are set. This is the last game of the long weekend. Sheffield came back from a 10-point deficit against Cheshire to book their ticket yesterday behind 31 points from Ricky McGill. London holding off the Surrey 89ers just a few hours ago, and the Riders closed out against Bristol. So the playoffs will be second place Leicester against the third place Sheffield Sharks, and the winner of today's game meets the #1 seed London Lions. So earlier today, Jason called with both teams' head coaches, Newcastle's Mark Stootle and Manchester's Herman Mandole, for their thoughts on today's game.
And we coach Mark Stootle here in Manchester ahead of tonight's playoff game. And Mark, first of all, congratulations, the first ENBL team to reach a final and also winning the trophy this year. But tonight, all focus is on the playoffs. You're 7 points up, but what's it going to take to get over the line here in Manchester?
Yeah, I was really proud of my team on Friday night. I thought, we disrupted some areas of Manchester we wanted to. For sure, Ashton Langford had a game that we know he can have, and we want to try and slow him down today. But I was really proud of my team, many areas of the game that we set out to achieve. Different challenge today. It's nice to have that 7-point cushion as such, but I think our mindset needs to be try and win the game in its entirety. Try and do all that we can to live and breathe some performance objectives that we want, try and win the basketball game.
And social media's probably covered everything you can think of towards this game, and it's that point of the season, Mark, where we're all getting a little bit hanging on in basketball. So let's switch sports for a little bit. You're in Newcastle Football Club. They've won a trophy this year, but you are a Liverpudlian. Where does your allegiances lie in terms of the football clubs?
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'm pleased that we won the league. The week after the Carabao Cup, I got a lot of stick off some fans. You know, made sure that they put the Newcastle shirts on when they come out to the game. Some of our staff are diehard Newcastle fans, but yeah, it was nice to see Liverpool win the league. Hopefully, well, I'm the only Liverpool fan here actually. Our S&C coach is too, but yeah.
Hopefully that'll be probably the nicest light-hearted part we've had of the season, Mark, but you'll be all business in about an hour and a half, and good luck for the game and good luck for everything that's ahead of you as a club. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Coach Herman Mandola, you play the Newcastle Eagles tonight. You guys are 7 points down from the first leg. Is that a psychological advantage or a disadvantage? How do you see it?
I mean, when it's psychological, depending on every person, right? For someone it's going to be nothing, for another it's going to be huge. So the most important thing to me is like Manchester already already won. In terms like today we are going to play sold out. And this is the first thing for the, for the future of the basketball here. That's what we have to build, with Mandole, with Mitchell, with whoever, with different persons. So we gotta keep building this. And this is gonna be a game. It's gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna try to enjoy, and the best way to enjoy is playing our side.
And Mackayster Langford once again had a great game. He's having a breakout season here, but you really missed the depth of Cody John coming off the bench. He's back tonight. How will you see that going? Is that an advantage?
Yeah, obviously he's one more player. I trust a lot in Cody. He's been solid. To me, what we missed in the first game was our percentage. We shoot 40% from free throw shot, so we missed 10, and then we shoot 22% from threes. With those numbers, we were lucky to lose only for 7 points. So I hope today, like playing in our home with our crowd, the ball is gonna get in. It's gonna be for us.
You're definitely right, and you guys have competed all year, and like you say, sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. Good luck for tonight, Coach, and good luck if you make it for the rest of the year. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.
So it's half time with 40 minutes gone. Coaches with time to adjust now after Friday's game, Jason.
Yeah, they really are, and it is half time, 7 points, but does that really play into it? It's a good atmosphere here. I think just both teams will be concentrating on winning the basketball game. If Manchester can be hanging around that point of even if they're down 2 or 3 on aggregate, they still can get the job done. So they'll just be coming out in this first half trying to play and get up.
So something that was key in that Eagles win on Friday, Trey Pulliam signed with the Eagles at the start of the year, been averaging 12.8 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, leading the team in assists per game with 5.2. He was scoring at will on Friday against Manchester, dropping 9 of his 17 points in the fourth quarter.
He was, and Newcastle had balanced scoring, and Trey Pulliam, the San Diego State graduate in 2022, he's played in Serbia and Cyprus. He's ready for the big occasion, and he took over at times, as you can see in the second half. He had a steady first half, but he still ended up with 17 points, 5 assists, and in the league, 5.2 assists per game. He's the 5th. So a really good game from Trey Pulliam. I'm sure he'll bring it tonight, Kaz.
And for Manchester basketball, Mackay Ashton Langford, the engine of this Manchester team, double-digit assists in 4 of the last 5 league games he played in. The Malton Player of the Month in April, where he averaged 17 points, 4.3 rebounds and 7.8 assists. He can score in so many ways and has been crucial for Manchester all season long.
He can, and Boston College stand up. Second year out of college, he was really playing well. Player of the month last month. He's second in assists in the regular season with 6.2. On Friday, he was the man. But for Manchester to advance, I think he has to be the 3rd scorer. He has to really distribute the ball. But it's the biggest test for him that he's had all year, because he's already proven he can get everyone involved. He's already proven he can be a chameleon and suit the outcome, and he can score when needed. But when does he pick that? When does he go? When does he not? Still a really big ask on Mackay Ashton Langford tonight.
So teams coming out on court, getting ready for tip. Starting fives for the Newcastle Eagles will be Trey Pulliam, Josh Ward-Hibbert, Mike Okoro, Darius Defoe and Cole Long. Newcastle with a short bench today. And for Manchester basketball, changes from Friday as Ian DeBose and Elijah Ifeje make it into the starting lineup alongside Mackay, Ashton Langford, Zach Irvin and DJ Mitchell. So Manchester playing in black today, the Eagles in white. We're ready to tip in the second leg of the quarterfinals. First possession is chased down by Okoro, and the Eagles will have it. Pulliam against Mitchell. Pulliam had the hot hand on Friday. Gonna take it all the way to the basket, bounces out Ifeje with the rebound, and that's what Manchester need from Elijah Ifeje. DeBose swings it round, Mitchell, three, oh, pass inside, a great look there from Mitchell.
What a pass by DJ Mitchell, X-ray vision to hit Elijah Ifeje for the easy one, and two guys, the foul there on Ifeje, but two guys that we didn't think would start in terms of Ifeje and Darius Defoe, both going to work early, but Ifeje, the curse of him is he's always in foul trouble. But what a pass by Mitchell.
How good is that matchup between Darius Defoe and Elijah Ifeje?
I was just thinking how not lucky Darius Defoe is, because he's kept himself in good condition. He's earned himself the right to be here, but he's won everything in the British game. He's been Mr. Newcastle over the years, and tonight he's still starting. What a credit it is to him and this Newcastle organisation. It's
great to see his 21st season as a Newcastle Eagle, the most successful player in the history of top-flight British basketball. And he'll go 2 of 2 from the line. So Ifeje picks up his first with that foul. Ashton Langford to Ifeje. Ashton Langford kicks it out. Mitchell will try a corner three. He'll hit. And if DJ Mitchell can get going from that three-point line.
And that what was missing on Friday, the three-point long ball. They only made 2 Kaz. DJ Mitchell already has 1 on the board, and if he gets going, watch out.
Williams swings it round. Ward-Hibbert shot spins out. Ifeje with another board. Ashton Langford into Ifeje. Oh, great. Oh, it was a great take for Ifeje. Looked like he'd made the space to fake, but just passed out.
Well, hey, let's not get carried away. Coach Herman Mandole was wide open. He could have stepped in and shot that ball, but Ifeje just really, I think, was too far under the bucket. But good start with him on the move. He's been very aggressive.
And that will be Ifeje's second foul off the ball there against Defoe. So that's going to be 2 quick fouls on Ifeje.
So I think Coach Mandole has got this weighed up. He's just going to leave him in there. If he fouls, he fouls. We'll play without him. But if he doesn't, then it's a bonus and he stays involved. Didn't play at all, Kaz, on Friday night.
And we've seen him out there. We've spoken about his foul, but the time on court when he's there for Manchester, he's so effective, so efficient. As Defoe will try the mid-range, gets it to go. Speaking
about effective, Darius Defoe getting his first field goal of the game as Ashton Langford pushes the ball. And what a layup, and Ifeje nearly threw that down.
Okoro round the outside, pulls up from deep, hits it.
Mike Okoro, so smooth. You know, he very rarely warms up before the game. He just chills out and he's ready when that ball goes up in the air. What a player he's been, potential MVP candidate.
Irvin passes intercepted by Long, picked up by Mitchell, finds Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford, ball will go off the Eagles and will have an end line ball for Manchester.
So we're going to have to keep his eye on the score throughout, because it is that 7-point deficit. As you can see, the aggregate score is on the board. But players will know that as the game goes on. I think in the first half, they'll just play.
So it's a 7-point deficit on aggregate for Manchester as Mitchell's three bounces out. William will direct his team. Into Long. Long spins against Ashton Langford, working his way inside. That's a tough move. Can't get it to drop. DeBose, and fouls called on Long. That's the first on Long and first on the Eagles.
It was good recognition by Mitchell defensively on the last play to come and help his buddy Ashton Langford. Cole Long had him in the block, undersized Ashton Langford, and DJ Mitchell came across and helped his buddy out. Good collective defense by Manchester.
AJ to DeBose. Round to Mitchell. Mitchell going to the basket, hangs in the air, gets his own rebound, fighting inside for the ball. And it's poked away, but Ward Hibbert will come up with it, gets fouled on the shot, and that'll be on Ashton Langford.
You can tell that tensions are very, very high. Both these teams are very emotional. Newcastle seem the more settled in terms of having veterans on the floor in Ward Hibbert and Darius Defoe. Everything seems just a little bit calmer. Manchester right now are chomping at the bit. They'll calm down, and by the end of the first quarter, let's hope both teams are in striking distance.
Ward Hibbert gets the first to go. Playing in his second season for the Eagles.
This is where Mark Stoutel knows how to recruit, Kaz, because this is the important part of the season, and these guys have been there before. It's not the first movie they've seen. You know, they've been here time and time again, and it's so valuable at this point of the year.
Playoffs are a whole different beast, aren't they, from the regular season, as Ashton Langford draws the foul. He's going to go to the line for two. And Ashton Langford has just been unstoppable all season long, Jason.
He has. He's just been able to knife down the teeth of the defense and just been impressive, especially that last game Friday. I think without him, they were really, really out of it at times, and he's just done whatever it takes to win. What I'm impressed with and what I enjoy is he's being rewarded for being a team basketball player. You quite often see imports going to different countries and trying to carry the load in terms of scoring. He's just been a great winner.
He has. In his last 3 games of the regular season, he averaged 11.6 assists. Such a fantastic facilitator. The way he sees the game, the way he sees his teammates out on court, as he goes 2 of 2 from the line. Eagles leads down to 2. Pulliam. Defoe against Ifeje. Ward Hibbert in the corner, 3, bounces out. Ifeje with the rebound. Ashton Langford spins. Irvin baseline. Mitchell catch and shoot 3. Nails it. DJ Mitchell.
That is his shot. It looks like it's well contested, but for DJ Mitchell, it's a 3-point layup. Make that 2 3-pointers already for the number 8. He's on fire and he's locked in.
Okoro out to Long. Long comes up against Ashton Langford. Ball's knocked away, picked up by Okoro. Floater doesn't drop. DeBose leading the charge. Mitchell's there. DeBose calling for the lob. Can't get it to drop in. As no look from Defoe over to Okoro.
Darius Defoe with the touch pass, but there it is in terms of being anxious. Manchester should have had a basket. A 4-point swing there goes in favour of Newcastle. Just need to calm down. Nice pass by Ifeje.
DeBose from deep, and the 3s falling for Manchester early on is certainly a good sign for them.
Yeah, well, you know when you're at school and they say you have to do your maths, these players need it right now because they're already looking at that scoreboard, trying to figure out that they're 5 points down.
Long looks to answer and does, and Cole Long was a problem for Manchester on Friday night.
Larger Ifeje just out of sorts, just dropped that basketball over the timeline and then just picked it up. So a turnover from Manchester. But yeah, you're right, Cole Long has been a problem all year. He's so efficient, he'll take a break early.
3 of 6 from 3 on Friday night, along with 5 big blocks. He was dominating the paint as James into the game for the first time. Doesn't get that to go. Ashton Langford. Uses the screen from Delpesh. Irvin in the corner, 3! Splashes it in!
That is big, and as you say, Manchester already making three-point shots. Zach Irvin in the corner with the 3 ball.
And we'll see Marcus Delpesh in for Manchester. Ward Hibbert backing down Ashton Langford. Shot short.
Good defense by Ashton Langford.
Pushing the pace here as Defoe's called for the foul against Irvin. That's the 3rd team foul on the Eagles. Both teams on 3 team fouls.
Smart foul by Darius Defoe, not really to let Manchester get going. We often see these calls just to slow up the game, Kaz. It's a tactical play by Defoe, but even more so needed tonight because the momentum and energy on the building either way can just shift.
And we know Manchester are a team that like to play fast. They like to run, get out into transition, averaging 12.7 fast break points a game. And Newcastle are going to definitely look to try and slow that down. Corner 3 from Irvin. Yes! Zach Irvin!
Who would have thought it's Zach Irvin 2 for 2 from the corner at the beginning of the year? He was rated as a liability from there. Now, he's had games where he's been locked and on fire, Kaz.
Pulliam for the Eagles, looking to answer here. Stops. No good, ball's loose. It's on the floor. Bodies flying everywhere, trying to get it. It's going to be a jump ball. Will go Manchester ball. So Manchester rewarded for that tough defense there.
Referees letting these guys play, that's for sure. And both of these teams really, really up for the challenge. Sometimes in professional sport, when guys have been overseas for a long time, you kind of wonder how long can they stay locked in. Both of these teams are really, really competitive. You can see the body language and you can see the energy.
Ashton Langford racing to the basket, gets the foul. He's going to go back to the line. That's going to be the 4th on the Eagles.
It also helps that we've spoke so much about these 2 guys, McAllister, Langford and Pulliam. They're both point guards. They've both had their spells at the time of the year, and they'll be really, really wanting to win that individual battle.
And how fun is it to watch 2 players like that just go at each other?
Well, I get to speak to Ashton Langford before every game. He's a gentleman. He comes over and speaks to you. He's a real nice guy. And he was just saying he feels great. He says at this point of the season, his body feels good, feels like he's in a rhythm, is enjoying basketball. I'm just really happy that Coach Mandoli has valued him being a great team guy, because sometimes you can just look at stats. Yes, he has good stats, but he does so much more.
Absolutely, as he hits the second free throw. Ashton Langford, the only player for Manchester Basketball playing all 32 regular season games. Manchester up 6 here in the venue, down 1 on aggregate.
Seneca Knight in the game off the bench.
James finds Long in the corner. Long, 3's too strong. DeBose has it. DeBose dancing around the outside, looking to go to the basket, finds Irvin. Pulliam steals it. And the Eagles coming back on the attack. Knight. Quick ball movement here from the Eagles. And Okoro will slow it down. James. Long pass over to Knight in the corner. 4 seconds. Shot clock winding down. Step back 3. Oh, that's a tough shot.
That was a tough shot. He's only been in there a minute. Managed to find a way within half a meter to get open.
DeBose to Delpesh. Mitchell calling for it in the corner. Won't go. Delpesh with a big offensive rebound. Gets Manchester another chance. As Irvin hands off to Delpesh. Underneath the basket. And Marcus Delpesh taking the contact.
What recognition from Zach Irvin. He's already made 2 threes, which means now you have to run out him. Early in the season on the scouting report, you didn't have to. What a pass, what a finish.
And that is foul number 2 on Cole Long for the Eagles. Del Pesh at the foul line. And Marcus Del Pesh, he has just upped the tempo these last few games for Manchester. In his last 4 regular season games, 12.7 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, shooting just under 76% from the field.
I'm not happy with the organisation. I'm not happy with Marcus Del Pesh because he's been teasing us for the year. They haven't played him, or he's been sat down, and all of a sudden he comes in, he's a dynamite three-point shooter and he's dunking the basketball. But yeah, he's definitely picked it up. And it seems out of the 3 centres, if you can call them that, he's the guy they go to and depend on in this last month or so.
As can't convert on the 3-point play. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Pulliam against Del Pesh. And foul off the ball. Stays with the Eagles. That's the 4th on Manchester, 1st on Carey as he's into the game for the first time. And we'll see Cody John check in for Manchester.
Manchester basketball as we're on defense.
Long, hands off to Pulliam. Five seconds on the shot clock. Pulliam, and foul on the floor, and that'll be 2 quick fouls on Kyle Carey for Manchester.
Pulliam's shifty. It's definitely difficult to stay in front. He's one of those guys that are just quick. You can hear his sneakers on the hardwood just like when he changes direction. He's got that game where he can just stop and go.
Manchester, you know what to do.
So
how good was Seneca Knight on Friday? He had a double-double, 12 and 10.
Absolutely fantastic, and great to see him out there.
First one's good. One to come.
As first free throw is good. That foul puts Manchester on 5 team fouls. So the Eagles will be at the line for every Manchester foul the rest of the quarter. William hits the second.
2 at the line for William.
Leads down to 3 for Manchester on the floor.
Coach Mike Stoutel really rotating early, getting guys in and out just to save that foul trouble. He's aware of his deficiency in terms of players. He's getting guys in and out quickly.
John, round to Mitchell. Hands off to Ashton Langford. Del Pesh looking to get it back to Ashton Langford there, but James just couldn't let him get free. As Mitchell, tough shot, won't go. And the Eagles, a chance to cut into this.
Yeah, the scouting report is deny Ashton Langford the basketball. Whenever he's in your area, he does not have it in his hands. That time it worked for Newcastle.
Pulliam against Mitchell. Oh, what a move! Scoops it in.
Oh, wow, he's playing one-on-one at times. Really good finger roll. Undersized and still gets it to go.
Ashton Langford. Mitchell. And foul on the shot, so DJ Mitchell goes to the line. It's going to give him a chance for 2. Under a minute left here in the first quarter.
You see Pulliam on the replay going to work with the step through, but on the other end, the Cardinals sin of fouling the jump shooter. Every coach hates it. It's probably one of the worst players in basketball. Try to contest the shot without getting into the airspace of the offense.
So DJ Mitchell, the team's leading scorer and rebounder for Manchester basketball this season. Up to 7 points, had those 2 big threes early on, Jason, and he is such a threat from the 3-point range. He has been all season.
Yeah, he has, and he only managed, I think, 10 or 11 points in the game at Newcastle on Friday, and you could tell he wasn't happy with himself. He's a volume scorer, and he can get it going. He was 0-7 from 3 on Friday night. He's definitely changed that trend here already.
For a player that's made 78 3-pointers so far this season, that's not something you see very often.
Manchester in the press, going back to the zone.
Knight fading away from the elbow, count that, and the foul. And that's going to put Knight at the line. And that's foul number 3 on Kyle Carey, so he's going to have to head to the bench. Ian DeBose will come back in. And that's tough for Manchester. Kyle Carey's shown how strong a defender he is out there on the floor.
It's tough, and he was good in terms of shooting. 2 from 4 for three-point line on Friday night. He had 6 points, so he could contribute. But the really good silver lining for them is Cody John will be able to be out there for a longer stretch. And it's only a matter of time before he gets in the groove, so it might work in Manchester's favour.
10-second difference between the shot and game clock. DeBose going to the basket. Gets the whistle, so Ian DeBose going to the line, and both teams getting the foul calls, Jason, driving in.
I'm no referee, you know that, and I very, very seldom comment on the referees and their decisions, but they have been consistent. They've called fouls on shooters, they've called fouls on screens. They've been really, really consistent in what they're doing, and you know, the referee's been great this year.
It definitely has. As Mike Okoro will come back into the game, Darius Defoe heads to the bench. So Ian DeBose at the foul line. Started the season with the Caledonia Gladiators before making the move to Manchester. His first shot bounces in. That's the shooter's roll.
Definitely. Home court roll.
And averaging 9.6 points per game, 4.1 rebounds, and 3.5 assists so far this season is DeBose. Goes 2 of 2 from the line. Takes him up to 5 points. Shot clock's off, 16 seconds in the quarter. Eagles can hold for the last shot. 10 seconds, Pulliam against John. 7 seconds. Pulliam taking his time here, looking for the shot that he wants. Pulls up and doesn't get it to drop. And was that a foul call just on the lob?
Yeah, Seneca Knight really pursued that basketball, and it was DJ Mitchell that just lost him on the box out, and he was right at the rim. Probably would have put that one back or dunked it if it wasn't for the foul. So referees on top of it, and probably a millisecond before those red lights went on, that call was made. So Seneca Knight will go to the line for 2, and Manchester will have a full court heave with a second remaining. So you could probably say this is probably going to be a tied ball game going to the end of the first quarter, Kaz. 0.3, so not even time for a catch and shoot.
You know what to do.
So Knight will get the first, playing in his first season for the Eagles. Just under 80% from the stripe so far this season. Will go 2 of 2. And as you said, Jason, tied at 26 all, 0.3, and not enough time to get anything off. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 26 all. And on aggregate, it's still an Eagles 7-point lead.
It is, and a 7-point deficit, Mark Stewart. The longer this goes, obviously the more happy he will be. But a good first quarter. I would say probably more so for Manchester, because they've come out and shot the ball well, which they really, really struggled with on Friday. I know you're probably just going to check your stats, Kaz, and have a look on the screen, but they've definitely come out better.
Definitely. You can see there, 5 of 7 from 3, 71% after only hitting 6 on Friday. A massive improvement. The Eagles also hitting 3 from 7.
Yeah, we've yet to talk about the foul shooting on Friday. That was very, very poor, but 78%, you know, they upped that. They're around the 80% mark. They're on track for a good offensive game, but Newcastle really haven't got going from three-point line like they can, so it's just a great game. Could still go either way, which is what we want.
It is, and it's what the fans want. We've got a brilliant sold-out venue here in Manchester at the National Basketball Performance Centre. Great to see the support in the crowd. It's getting very loud. Fans really excited for today's game.
Yeah, two rugby players on the court today. Jar Field, who is the leading scorer in Super League right now in terms of tries. So, witness players coming to see Manchester play.
I think they're getting a jersey swap, aren't they?
Yeah, both Bevan French and Jar Field coming out here and seeing a great game of basketball.
So heading into the second quarter, Jason, obviously the threes are falling for Manchester. What do they need to do here to try and cut into this 7-point deficit overall?
I don't think you can look at that yet. I know it's very tough as a player. I've been in that position where you're thinking, you know, what's the aggregate score? I just think you have to play, and it's a game of runs, and can you just keep going as you're doing and then stop the other team? That's what Manchester will be doing. Newcastle will just be playing with as much poise as they can, keep the game going, play how they've done all season.
And these two teams in the regular season so evenly matched. Manchester finishing in 4th and the Eagles in 5th. So back on court for the second quarter.
Well, if the trend in the playoff goes, there's been no upsets. The top 3 are through already. Can the top 4 be through? If Manchester do that, they will be. But Newcastle will be looking to upset the trend as they finish 5th.
Ward Hibbert works against Delpeche, has to pass out of it. Oh no, he takes the shot. Looked like he was about to send that out to his teammate as Irvin comes away with the rebound. Will go to the basket. And an offensive foul called on Irvin.
Not sure about that one. I think Hibbert was moving and Zach Irvin just looked like he was trying to turn the corner. But the referees did conclude and did discuss briefly that that one will go against Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin definitely aggressive, you would say, in this first half.
So Manchester picking up full court. Ward Hibbert. Against Ashton Langford. James.
This is a guy that can get it going, and he can play on his own at times. Has good defense by the Bulls.
And that's the impact Ian DeBose has when he's out there, as Cody John will take it all the way to the rack. And he's going to go to the foul line for a chance at a three-point play.
He has a really, really good knack of seeing things that just open up and seeing beyond the play that's in front of him. That really wasn't an option as he crossed this foul line, but then he just all of a sudden saw there was a gap, see the change of direction and the body control to finish.
And you see there as well, Marcus Delpeche just sort of pushing other defenders out of the way to kind of make that lane for Cody John.
Yeah, but Marcus Delpeche runs the floor very well, so he's already down there. But Cody John, he may be the X factor in this one. As Manchester are down 2 now on aggregate. Sorry, down 4.
You've got to do a quick maths, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. You may need to help me out with that, guys. I'll be honest with you.
Pulliam. Over to Knight. Knight 3. It's short. DeBose grabs the rebound. DeBose leading the charge down the court. John thought about the shot. Gonna take his time. Ashton Langford. Seven seconds. Ashton Langford dishes off to Delpeche underneath. It's broken up and the Eagles come away with it.
Yeah,
Ward Hibbert will take
Manchester.
it.
Sorry, Kaz, just saying sloppy play by Manchester there.
Irvin hands off to DeBose. Round the screen from Delpeche. DeBose finds a path to the basket, and DeBose going to the foul line. So foul number 2 on the Eagles for this quarter.
Well, we have some rugby players in the house from Widnes, but Coach Mandole was suggesting that that was a rugby move by Ward Hibbert as the defense got by and he just grabbed him. Question is that a basketball play or not? I think in the playoffs it is.
So DeBose back at the line for 2. Ian DeBose with 5 points and 4 rebounds in his time out there on the court for Manchester. First is good.
So Ashton Langford, 26 points on Friday night. He was definitely the guy that could get it going. But tonight, he only has 3. But this is where Manchester are more efficient if he pilots the offense. Yes, he can score and get him to about 15 to 20 points. You're looking good, but it's the conundrum that he's going to have all game.
It is, isn't it? 9 assists as well on Friday night. We've seen him out there all season, a facilitator for this Manchester team. When the ball is in his hands, it works out very well for Manchester as Pulliam. Floater, no good. And Knight will finish on the putback.
Newcastle good at seeing mismatches.
DeBose. Out to John. Long three, bounces off. Pulliam. Seneca Knight under the basket, just hiding on the baseline.
If you're going to win a ball game, it's inexcusable. Falling asleep on the weak side. Seneca Knight just ghosted along the baseline for an easy two.
And Cody John with a top basket. As we've got a stop on the floor, a timeout called by head coach for Manchester Basketball, Herman Mandole, as Manchester go up 3 here on the floor, down 4 on aggregate.
Cody John already 5 points. Probably the same points as he has minutes around. Just getting his head down and getting to the rim. He's played less than 5 minutes. He has 5 points with a 3 and a 2, and it was, like you say, a very, very contested shot.
And he has been such a spark off the bench, hasn't he? A real energy player for Manchester.
It is, and I'm going to start the celebrity watch off, Kaz. I'm going to say that Fab Flournoy's in the building.
Newcastle Eagles legend.
Newcastle Eagles, and you've got Darius Defoe starting, and not by coincidence shooting the basketball a little more. He was one of Fab's teammates when he was a player coach, but you know, a lot that Newcastle built is on Fab, and Coach Mark Stootle doing a really, really good job of keeping that tradition going. But he's the first celebrity that we've identified in the building. There's a few more as well. Cheshire Phoenix, who were knocked out in the last round. Larry Austin Jr. and his teammates in the building. They had a great lead going up against Sheffield. They were 10 points up, and then Sheffield clawed that back, and you know, you can see that deficit can be overturned. But
definitely, I mean, and that was a great series as well between those two teams. Ricky McGill dropping 31 points. Jamel Anderson had a nasty dunk in that as well.
He did, and I've seen it all over social media. But yeah, plenty of celebrities here tonight.
We've also got Alex Haydock-Wilson in the crowd.
Yeah, talk about speed, that guy can run.
He can, as Seneca Knight throws it down.
Seneca Knight, instant offense. He's 14 points personal. We've only been playing for him like about 7 or 8 minutes.
Peschel put it in with a reverse. And Seneca Knight averaging 14.8 points per game. As you said, Jason, 14 points alone in the first half.
What a move by Coach Mark Stootle to bring him off the bench and just say, take over this game. What
a luxury to have a player like him come off the bench.
Yeah.
As Okoro looks to extend Newcastle's lead and does. It's 35 all on the floor. I feel like that's a confusing sentence that I've just said. Ashton Langford. Out to Irvin, thought about the shot, back to Ashton Langford. You see the Eagles getting straight out to the ball as a long three from Ashton Langford won't drop.
Newcastle Eagles in that zone defense really throwing Manchester off.
And Ashton Langford picks off the pass, had 4 steals on Friday, and Cody John to the basket. He is just making the difficult shots.
What a finish by Cody John, the English on that basketball as he spun it off on the left side with his right hand. What a play by Cody John.
Approaching the halfway mark of the first half as James has time to shoot that three. Knight picks it up, powers his way to the basket. It's tipped, but Irvin will come away with it. Ashton Langford pushes it down the floor. Ashton Langford to the hole. Going to go to the foul line, and you see the speed with which Ashton Langford plays with.
And this is playoff basketball. Ashton Langford pushing the ball on the break, but none of these teams are going to give anything. And 35 points scored on the road by Newcastle. They're holding up their side of the bargain, but Manchester taking punch after punch, just keep coming back. Let's hope we get to the second half and it's this score. Well, not 37-35, but in terms of deficit.
And that foul is foul number 2 on Okoro as Ashton Langford gets the first to fall.
May come down that we're watching the fouls as much as the score, as we've got 4 Newcastle Eagles on 2 fouls, and the main one being Okoro, as you've just said, who's been probably the MVP of this team all year. If he picks up the 3rd in this first half, could be trouble.
Second free throw doesn't go for Manchester, and on Friday we saw Manchester go 9 of 19 from the line. And that's something in the playoffs. I mean, you don't want it in the regular season, but games can be won or lost at the foul line.
Yeah, they can.
3 short. Ashton Langford up ahead. James chasing him down, but an easy 2 there for Ashton Langford.
And reversing roles as AJ becomes point guard, takes that pass, lobs it to Ashton Langford, who finishes. And we are down by 2 here in Manchester. We'll talk you through how that's working if you're just joining us when we get a break in play.
Pulliam. Round to James. James against Mitchell. 3 seconds. Shot clock winding down. James pulls up. Mid-range. Rolls out. Defoe is there for the rebound and puts it back in. And Manchester doing all the hard work there, but not able to box out Defoe.
Yeah, if you'd have seen Darius Defoe 5-10 years ago, he would have already had 10 rebounds, but he still
and
can do
DJ
it.
Mitchell takes it to the basket. Mitchell up to 10 points, leading Manchester. Defoe to Pulliam. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pulliam round the outside. 2 seconds. Pulliam stepping through.
Oh, that move is his move. Looks like he has nothing. He just stops and ball fakes. Watches the defense fly by. That's his move, Gaz.
Such a nice move as DJ Mitchell. His 3 hits the back iron.
Too open.
He needs a hand in his face.
He does. Good pass by AJ.
3:12 to play in the first half. Pulliam on the baseline, passes out to Defoe. Swings it round. James against Mitchell. James dishes. Ashton Langford will come away with it. Zach Irvin racing down the court. I will just drop it in. A soft touch at the rim there. Took the easy shot. Wasn't going to do anything fancy there.
It wasn't, but he looked like he was contemplating throwing that basketball through, but nevertheless, Manchester will take the 2. It means they are 2 points down on aggregate. For the people joining us, Gaz, take us through how that works.
So the playoffs, how they work, it's a 2-leg series, and the aggregate score over both games, the winner is the team with the highest score. So currently, on aggregate, Newcastle have 117 to 115 lead over Manchester. Friday's score combined with the score we've got at the moment in the venue. So a 2-point lead overall for the Eagles.
Yeah, and as we watch Zach Irving lay that ball up over the rim, many people have spoken about, well, it's not an advantage because you play 1 game away, you play 1 game at home, whereas you normally associate home court advantage by being 2 in one place, 1 at the other. However, you walk into this building tonight, you're only down 7, it is an advantage. So whoever has gone in these positions knows it's an advantage. One guy that does know is that guy Fab Forno right there.
And he was there on Friday night in Newcastle, watching his former team get that 7-point win against Manchester. And how great is it to see guys that have played in this league? Player coach Fab Forno has been part of the furniture in British basketball, hasn't he? And then making his name in the NBA as well.
Yeah, but this is the impact that basketball has on people's lives, not just playing the game. Because Fab, yeah, he's a New Yorker, he's from America, but he's now English. He lives in Newcastle, so he's come home for the summer. It's not like he's coming on a trip from America. Home is Newcastle for him, so he's come back home. He's relaxing. He wants to just have a nice time at the game and probably put behind a very, very hectic season in the NBA.
Definitely. So teams back out on court. It will be Eagles ball as Manchester will pick up full court here. Knight works against Irvin to get it over the halfway line. Hands off to Pulliam. James inside, spins against the Fajay, kisses it off the glass.
Christian James having a great game also on Friday night. Oh, it's a bad play by Mitchell.
Long will take it to the basket and off the rim. Oh, that was a foul on Ashton Langford.
And you can see DJ Mitchell, he doesn't often make plays like that, but as soon as he turned that ball over, his hands are on his head. Plays are just amplified at this point of the year. Just every play becomes bigger when you're trying to win these games.
And something we saw on Friday, so Newcastle 18 points from turnovers. They've been averaging 10.9 points from turnovers this season, so they were able to force the ball out of Manchester's hands and really capitalise on it.
Yeah, it's something that Manchester have done to teams since Coach Herman Mandola has been in charge. They've really made the other teams cough it up by a little bit of run and jump defence, a little bit of zone, really changing things up. But Newcastle did that to Manchester and kind of beat them with their own medicine, really.
You can see there DJ Mitchell leading the way for Manchester with 10 points, had those 2 early threes in the first quarter. Zach Irvin with 8 points and 5 rebounds, 3 assists as well for Irvin. And for the Eagles, it's been Seneca Knight, 14 points, shooting 71% from the field. Also grabbing 5 rebounds, coming off the bench. He's been instant impact for the Eagles.
It just has, isn't it? I don't know. It says a lot about the culture of the team, because you're starting Darius Defoe, you know, and you could start Seneca Knight and play small ball, but you know, Seneca Knight saying, okay, I'll come off the bench, I'll do a good job, I'm locked in, I'm still engaged in the game. It really shows the professionalism of players like that. You know, Illinois State graduate in 2023, Seneca Knight. In his senior year at Illinois State, he had 12.3 points. So he's a big-time scorer. You know, and to be able to come off the bench and just say, yeah, I'll do my job. You know, he's unreal. 14 points tonight. He leads all scorers.
Back on the floor, it's Long at the foul line. Playing in Sweden last season, and 2 of 2 from the line. So 44-43 Manchester lead. Irvin passes to Delpesh.
That was a good read by Zach Irvin. Normally he goes to the corner. You look Cody John off and give it to Delpesh going down the middle.
Knight hands off to Pulliam. Long will pull up for the mid-range, doesn't drop. Who's there for the rebound? Knight can't finish on the putback. And Seneca Knight is all over the floor as Ashton Langford takes it to the basket. And the speed, the change of direction for Ashton Langford, he just puts the jets on and goes.
Smallest of seams there for Ashton Langford, and we've seen Cody John do it. Now it's the turn of Ashton Langford.
As Cody John steals the ball, hands off to Irvin, and in off the glass for Zach Irvin. And Manchester's lead now up to 7. We are tied on aggregate.
And this place is getting loud, cars in here, because they know that this is now a tie ball game. What a good psychological advantage it would be for the home club if they can go out up on the aggregate.
As Mitchell swats the ball into the stands. DJ Mitchell not in his house.
DJ Mitchell playing with energy, Kaz.
The crowd were fired up before that block, Jason, but it just erupted in here. We can see that again. The timing, how high was he in the air?
He was extremely high, really animated. Newcastle bench is saying that he's a little bit over-animated, but I don't think you can really stop that. You know, players are going to play with energy, and why is that wrong?
And it pumps them up, doesn't it? You make a big play like that, you're going to be pumped. So 4.4 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Long dishes to Pulliam inside. Ashton Langford takes it away. Manchester running. Mitchell, pull up 3. Doesn't go. Ashton Langford with the offensive board. And Cody John, that shot spins out. Okoro's off and running down the court. Doesn't drop. And fighting for for the rebound. It's Knight and Delpeche. A fast-paced end to the second quarter here as Pulliam's floater will just put a stop to that.
Calm nerves prevail as everyone had a good look. DJ Mitchell had a good look.
And ball goes out of bounds. Mitchell just couldn't save it in. The Eagles will get the ball back.
How important is psychology in the game now? I mean, Ashton Langford just turned the ball over. DJ Mitchell has been on a high and then a low, then on a high. And it's just so tough to keep your composure, but that's what Pulliam just did.
It's playoff basketball, Jason, isn't it?
Even me and you are getting in each other's way, Kaz.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Okoro keeps the ball alive. 7 seconds. And it's loose. It's foul is called. There were so many times there a Manchester player had their hand on the ball to try and knock it away. Okoro did a brilliant job to keep it with him, and a foul called as the shot clock's running down.
The more this game goes, the longer I will think that the winning team will be the team that can make the best decisions. Because that right there, Zach Irving played absolutely phenomenal defense on Micah Okoro, and at the last minute, his intensity got the best of him because he reached in and committed the foul with 2.8 remaining on the shot clock. So just those little plays, and like the turnover by Ashton Langford, you know, who's the calmest, I think, will prevail. Yeah,
and it's interesting, isn't it? Because these are two teams that, you mentioned it before, that experience, when you've been here before, when you've been in a playoff situation, it's so valuable.
But Manchester, you know, kind of team that have really, really relied on their energy. You know, they've come out defensively and played really tough. They push the ball. I don't think they can play any other way, so just let the chips fall.
Definitely. So 8.9 on the clock, and it will be Eagles ball. That was the second foul on Irving. Oh, we can see that Mitchell block again.
He's had a few of those this year.
He has.
Playing volleyball out here.
He likes to jump as well, does DJ Mitchell. He likes to get high in the air. So team's coming back out on court.
So Cal Carey, the only real foul trouble concern with 3 fouls. Micah Okoro on 2, so I think both benches will be happy with how the foul situation is panning out for them now.
So Okoro at the line. And first is good. 81% from the foul line this season for Okoro. Playing in France last season. Leads the team in scoring with 17.9 points per game. 2 for 2 at the line. Cuts the lead in the venue to 3. Manchester down 4 on aggregate. So 8.9 seconds. So time for Manchester to get something off here. There's a lot of time for this possession.
Yeah, plenty of time. Shot off if you can get the ball into Cody John or Ashton Langford's hands. Here we go.
Ashton Langford, 6 seconds against Ward Hibbert. Mitchell pulls the trigger. It's off. Knight with the rebound from the halfway line. And at the end of the first half, so it's a 50-47 lead for Manchester, a 3-point lead in the venue. Newcastle lead by 4 on aggregate.
Newcastle will be very, very happy because Manchester have really thrown some punches here. They've really got out in transition. They've come up with rebounds. They're competing. They made threes in that first quarter. And they're still shooting 38% even after going cold in that second quarter. But they really came out, and Newcastle have taken it and responded.
They have, and you can see there, so those 5 made threes for Manchester, they were all in the first quarter, haven't hit a 3 in the second. And they came out hot. We were expecting them to shoot that, but you can, the 100% from the foul line for the Eagles, 13 of 13. Both teams evenly matched in getting to the line, but those 3 misses for Manchester after the missing the 10 on Friday. You really don't want a game that's going to come down to free throws.
If Newcastle lose, we're going to be talking about Manchester's hot shooting early on. if Manchester lose, we're going to be talking about missed free throws in both games, because Newcastle are 100%, like you just say, and Manchester, not only in tonight's game, but also on Friday night, were not very good from the charity stripe. So that's the things that we're going to be talking out if either team lose. But as we go, all to play for. 4-point deficit.
It certainly is all to play for. So leading the way for Manchester Basketball, Zach Irvin with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists and a steal. DJ Mitchell has 10 points, along with a rebound and an assist, and that big block that we saw a few moments ago. But for the Eagles, it's been Seneca Knight off the bench, 14 points, shooting 55% from the field. He's got 9 rebounds already, looking at a double-double almost in the first half.
That is ridiculous. He's been the best player on the court in terms of efficiency, coming in, scoring, rebounding, and he's kind of hurt the momentum of this Manchester team, because as soon as Manchester get on a run and they want to get out going, he's come up with a rebound and he's really kind of stopped the bleeding in some respect.
So while we get ready for the second half, you can check out the plays of the week, and we've got an interview with Manchester's Ian DeBose and head coach Herman Mandole.
As Super League basketball has taken center stage. But this is about more than basketball. This is where legends rise and rivalries are written. Every game is a battle, every moment is electric, and every fan is a part of the journey. It's time to stand tall as the future unfolds, and Super League basketball gets set to be bigger and better than anything we've seen before. New season, new stories, new champions to be crowned. From the opening tip to the final buzzer, every second counts. Every shot matters. Nothing is given, everything is earned. So who will rise, who will dominate, and who will make history? Where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League basketball, a new dawn is here.
Basketball is the second most played sport by young people in the UK. And this is a great opportunity for us to engage the younger generation in being more sustainable, recycling more, and ultimately reducing waste and protecting the environment.
Away in the trash can, and throwing this away in the trash can, you're doing it in the right place. You're composting, you're recycling, you're reducing, reusing. It's just super important to learn that from a young age, because you carry that into your adult life.
I majored in marine science and I minored in sustainability. So it's actually really exciting to see us partner with a company who is really invested in sustainability.
I think it's fantastic. BIFA is such a quality name in the waste and sustainability sector. We're a quality name in our sector. They're very much about community. We're very much about community. So I think it's going to be a great partnership.
I started to play when I was 10 years old in my neighbor, which is Villa Madero in Argentina, Buenos Aires. And I fall in love, you know. I used to play football, soccer, because in Argentina it's like the main sport, you know. It's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one is football, and then the others come. And I used to play football, I love football, but when I started to practice basketball, I fall in love, you know. We didn't have enough money in my family, so when I was 15 years old, the club gave me the chance to be like, the name is like a monitor, which is one young guy who start to coach, you know, help the coaches in mini basketball. Helping that way, the club don't make me pay, you know, for the month. So I start there just to help my family, because I have two ways: or work in that way, like helping the club, or stop to play basketball. So I think be player is the best job in the world, and be coach is the second one. I dream basketball, I eat basketball, I live basketball. And when I realized I'm not gonna be able to leave basketball as a player, I have to decide to lead basketball in another way, and coach was the closer one, you know what I mean? As a coach, I know I'm not the most important guy in the team. I know the players are the most important piece, you know, in the team. And I try to be connector between them. I try to get confidence, and then I try to be tough with the thing that I think that hurt the team. I used to say, like, when you are thinking in the team, you are not gonna make any mistake. When you're thinking yourself, you probably make a mistake. It's my second month here in Manchester. I'm really happy because the players, they both my idea, you know. I think they are playing with physicality, which is something to me very, very important because everybody can do this. I think now we have one clear style. My ambition when I come here is like becoming in a good team and then try to be solid. You know, I think if we are solid, we can beat every team here in the league. My dream with this team is to start the first playoff team, with the first playoff game with physicality, you know, in good mood and having fun.
Yeah, man, like I said, I'm from Durham, North Carolina. It's the home of, I think it's one of the biggest basketball places in the world. You know, I'm from Durham, where Duke University is, so my whole life I watched ACC basketball growing up, and I wanted to be a part of that. So basketball was a huge thing. High school basketball, AAU basketball, every level of basketball is like the most important thing. So I think that played a huge role in me pursuing it, and I loved the game ever since I was like 4 years old. I was playing, and playing in the UK, like I said, I've had a lot of success in this league. I enjoy the league. I love the country, like the play style. It really fits my game. And so, like I said, last year I had success. Kind of, unfortunately, got cut short due to injury. And now I have an opportunity to come back and be at this time of the year where like the basketball is like the best. Like I said, meaningful basketball is what you want to play. Like these games matter, everything matters, and like it adds so much fuel to the fire. And so like now I have the opportunity to do that. You know, it's very fortunate. Getting back, you have to get over some mental hurdles. You have to fight, and really just getting those practice, those time in the gym that builds your confidence. You know, I put a lot of work in. I lifted a lot of weights. I did a lot of sprints. I did a lot of training sessions to get back here. So that's the process, like I said. But from a fan's perspective, you know, it's kind of funny. You see a guy out, and all of a sudden he's just back on. But he did a lot of work to just be able to be on that court to check in the game for even 1 minute, you know, so that was the process for sure. Feeling good, man. Like I said, I'm catching a rhythm. I think the whole team is catching a rhythm as well. Like I said, it was definitely a bit of grace period on like just kind of maturation of the team and trying to figure out who we want to be, and I think we're coming into our own. But like I said, I'm really confident in myself. I feel really good about my game. I'm excited, like I'm really excited for all these matches. Like I said, meaningful basketball is what you want. So like every single game I'm excited to play, and like I said, once you're injured, you don't take any game for granted, you know, because I've had time where I missed these games and it wasn't fun, you know. I was cheering my guys on, but I wanted to be on the court so bad. But yeah, feeling good, excited for the next couple of weeks, and like I said, heading into playoffs. Like I said, even closing down the regular season, you know, want to finish as strong as we can. It's not like we're just coasting into the playoffs. Like we want to win every single game we play, and looking forward to each game. I think we spoke about this before, but this league is like anybody can beat anybody, and like we've shown we can beat anybody. We've won at least a game against every team in this league, and so it just shows that any given night anything can happen. And I believe in myself, I believe in our team, I believe in the organization, and so I'm excited to see where we go. I think the sky's the limit for us. Like really, we go as far as we take ourselves. So you know, obviously it's going to be competitive. It's not going to be easy, and nobody's going to give us anything. But I'm definitely very excited to see where we go, and like I think we got a chance. So we have to go, and whatever I think, we have to go out there and prove it. And so I'll do everything I can to prove that message for sure.
Okoro gets into the key through the contact, and Okoro will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Great little hands
Can he finish it off? He can. Outrageous.
That was outrageous. The Bear Ramsey.
Right, goes baseline. Goes right-handed. Oh, it almost went. Then Shelton gets the offensive forward and the throwdown, hangs on the rim and earns a technical for his efforts.
Unbelievable work there from Duke Shelton.
Here's Hunt, Chulavinskas now. Inside to, oh my goodness, it's blocked by McCormack as Adelakun was going up for the dunk. And it's stolen away by Timberlake. Knicks in transition, Timberlake with a two-handed jam.
Wow, flying through the air, Timberlake there with that two-hand throw down.
Mitchell swats it away, and DJ Mitchell racing back on defense, gets down the court with a big block.
Big dunk incoming, no! Blocked by Adelakun, not in my house.
Not at the SSP.
Austin, right to the rim again, followed by Holden, who jams it in.
What a good follow from Cam. And he's talking his talk to the Newcastle bench.
Hunter's looking for options, pass inside, a nice of Johnson off the glass and in.
Unbelievable pass. His hang time was enough there and good movement off the ball by Spencer Johnson, who lays it in.
Oh, what a throwdown. Delpesh is on fire at the moment in these two games versus Surrey.
I think he just wants to get on the top 10 plays.
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.
Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as we get ready for the second half of this quarter-final game between the Manchester Basketball and Newcastle Eagles. It's playoff time and Manchester have a 3-point lead in the venue. Newcastle have a 4-point lead on aggregate. We can see there all other semi-final places are set. This is the last game of the long weekend, and Jason, it's just been a great weekend of playoff basketball.
It has, and the top three are already through. Can the fourth team, that being Manchester, go through against Newcastle here? But not really any upsets. But the emphasis in the second half, guys, will be on keeping the basketball safe. 8 turnovers for Manchester, 5 to Newcastle, and in free throws shooting, that is the difference in those two. But really small margins here, guys, in terms of success and defeat.
And that is something that Manchester Basketball's head coach Herman Mandole will have preached to his team, isn't it? Take care of the ball. Newcastle able to capitalise on those turnovers on Friday night, and a real difference maker for them there.
Yeah, but maybe Manchester can flip the script here, but they've been good defensively. And the third quarter, they've always really applied the pressure throughout the season. So can they cause some turnovers to Newcastle? The issue is when Pulliam and Okoro have the ball, very rarely gets thrown away.
So back out on the floor, Ian DeBose out to Mitchell, sidesteps for three, drains it, and a great start there to the third quarter for Manchester as we saw DJ Mitchell hit 2 triples early in the first. Manchester not able to connect in the second.
Just what the doctor ordered, 3-ball corner pocket from DJ Mitchell, a good start for the home team.
Pulliam finds a way to the basket and draws the foul. So first team foul there for Manchester.
Referees really letting things go in the first half. Not many calls were made except on shooters. But already Pulliam getting to the glass, and Delpesh called with the foul probably on the outside arm.
So second foul on Delpesh, and Pulliam will take 2 from the line. First is good for Pulliam.
These rings are so nice here in this building. You know, in terms of being a shooter, you talk about sight lines and the way the basket looks and what's behind it. The rims look extremely inviting.
They're definitely shooters' rims, aren't they?
Yeah.
2 of 2 from the line for Pulliam. And he's up to 10 points. Newcastle lead by 3 on aggregate. DeBose. DeBose looking to find a way inside. Does, gets to the basket, rolls off the rim, and a foul underneath the hoop.
And that's where your reputation will get you. Darius Defoe standing underneath Delpeche as he goes airborne and just edges him out.
And that's a 3rd foul on Defoe for the Eagles.
He definitely did foul as he stepped across and took Delpeche's lower body out.
So Manchester ball from the end line. DeBose into Delpeche, hands off to Ashton Langford. Ashton Langford puts the Jets on, loses the ball in the lane. Pulliam, Okoro all the way, lays it in. And Ashton Langford and Manchester looking to answer here. Out to DeBose from 3. Doesn't drop, tipped. Ashton Langford saves it, but Pulliam will come away with it. And Okoro, 2 quick baskets there for the Eagles and Okoro.
Ties the ball game on the night, which means Newcastle are up by 7. But dodging a bullet, the open 3 from DeBose as Delpeche goes down the middle and responds. But could have been a big swing there. Newcastle coming out on top in this second half.
Pulliam has Mitchell on him. Defoe, oh, a nice shot from Defoe, and how many times have we seen him do that over his career?
Yeah, so reliable, and he's become even more reliable as he's got older, shooting that foul line jump shot.
Ashton Langford works against Ward Hibbert, and a foul on the floor. That'll be against Ward Hibbert.
Yeah, it's tough to stay in front of Kaz Ashton Langford, especially when you're running out. Coaches teaching closeouts in practice every day of the week.
And that's
still not easy.
Foul number 3 on Josh Ward Hibbert. So Ward Hibbert and Defoe both on 3 fouls for the Eagles. Kyle Carey on 3 fouls for Manchester. Ashton Langford swings the ball to DeBose. Time running down, 3 seconds. DeBose sidesteps for 3. No good. Now pass inside. Rejected by DeBose. Ashton Langford. And foul on the floor. And you can see there that Ashton Langford, we know he likes to drive to the basket. We know he's so quick, but the Eagles are just doing a really good job of getting back there and making a wall.
And they're picking the times to foul as well. They're not really letting him get going. They know that he's kind of been the 3rd scorer all year, and everything relies on his offense as he turns the ball over. But right now, Manchester look a little bit rattled.
As Okoro takes the contact, he's going to the foul line and count the basket. And just on that play before, so it was an out-of-bounds sideline. No foul was called on that last one. So the Eagles still on 2 team fouls. Manchester, after that one, now on 2 team fouls. And that's foul number 1 on Ian DeBose. And Mike Okoro, you can see him there. He can take the contact as he gets to the basket.
He's so good at that. He doesn't need to lay the basketball up. He can just float and guide it through. But he misses the opportunity to extend it to a double-digit lead.
Mitchell into Delpeche. Delpeche too strong. Long behind the back.
Oh, wow.
That's a tough finish from Cole Long. And he puts the Eagles up 4 on the floor here. And the Eagles now up 11 on aggregate. That's stretching that lead down.
That's what the Eagles have. If you watch football, you will talk about counter-attack opportunities. In basketball, you will talk about fast break opportunities where potentially they have 1 on 2, 1 on 4. Cole Long going 1 on 4 right there and just taking it down the guts of the defense. Inexcusable, really, for Manchester to allow the ball to go right down the middle, but also very tough when you're guarding players like Long and Okoro.
and how quick they are, how quick those players get down the court.
Yeah, this is the quietest this building has been. If you're watching at home, you don't really get that, but this building has gone very quiet. 11 points down on aggregate. Manchester do not want this one to get to 15 or 20. Newcastle are too poised to withstand any pressure coming back, so they need to now go on their own run.
And for Manchester, is it a case of do they look for that three-point shot? I mean, they are looking for it anyway, because that's how they play. They've hit 6 already, but do they want to try and take it inside a bit more?
Yeah, and the coaches can coach what they want, the players can prepare, but at the end of the day, sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. You know, I'm not talking about free throws, I'm talking about contested threes. And the team that usually shoots better usually wins. You know, so it's not that straightforward, but sometimes you just have to say, well, we just didn't make shots. And right now, Manchester haven't got it going in this third quarter.
So Manchester shooting 50% from the field, the Eagles 43%. Ashton Langford to Mitchell. Finds some space, out to Irvin. Irvin's three will go! And coming out of the timeout, that's exactly what Manchester needed.
Yeah, good response by Zach Irvin. He's become reliable from three-point line. He's had 3 of those already tonight. Really timely shot by Zach Irvin.
Irvin up to 13 points. Leads Manchester alongside DJ Mitchell with 13. Pulliam, great pass into Defoe. Can't finish. And Defoe will go down on the floor. Looks like he's hurt there, grabbing his ankle. And we'll have a stop on the floor while he's seen to. But Darius Defoe has just been putting in a shift in today's game.
Yeah, Coach Mandoli very sportingly halted the game and got the referees to stop it and allow somebody to come on, but it looks like Darius Defoe stood on somebody's ankle. Very inadvertent. Delpeche coming across to block the shot. No intent, that's for sure, from any players, but don't want to speculate, but looks like Darius Defoe really has turned that ankle.
And it's tough for Newcastle, isn't it? They're a short-handed team already, had a lot of injuries throughout this season. They've got Malcolm Delpeche out for the rest of the season.
Well, we only saw Will Neighbour playing maybe 2 or 3 minutes the other night in that game in Newcastle, so he's the next guy in terms of height on that bench, but I think they're just going to go and playing small ball, and Seneca Knight becomes the 5, which it's been quite fashionable these days.
It certainly has, hasn't it? But Seneca Knight, he's got 14 points for the Eagles coming off the bench in the first half.
Well, small ball allows you one thing. It allows you, if you're up, which Newcastle are by 8, to control the basketball from a number of players. They're able to handle the ball, they'll be able to move it. They have to spread the floor and go for the jugular when three-pointers become available, and just everyone is being able to play on the outside. Speaking of everyone being able to play on the outside, did you see Golden State against Houston?
I did, yes, because I love watching Steph Curry play basketball.
Oh, well, I saw a quote that at times he's playing, I know they've got Jimmy Butler and they've got Buddy Hield, but at times that, you know, Steph Curry said he's playing with 4 PE teachers and still winning. I mean, unbelievable.
Steph Curry, he does not stop moving on the basketball court for the full 48 minutes. I mean, he does get a rest sometimes, but he's just an absolutely perfect example of just run around the court and be ready. And how much fun is that next series going to be against the Timberwolves?
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. And we've talked about Fab Flournoy being on the building. You know, Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, former, well, not SLB coach, but former British Basketball League coach. And you know, now applying his trade in Minnesota.
And how great are those connections?
Yeah,
we were talking about Fab Flournoy earlier.
Awesome. The pausing players, because Darius Defoe is getting attention after going down. It looks like he's twisting an ankle and he's going to need a stretcher to go off court, but it does allow everyone else to get a breather, and these rosters have been very small, Kaz.
They have, and we saw the Eagles against the Riders a few days ago, very short-handed in that one, finished with 4 players on the court.
You have to feel for Coach Stewart. You've already got Malcolm Delpeche, the brother of Marcus, on the other team, who's been out for a long period of bad knee injury he sustained. And then you've got Alan Aikins, who was very good. the first half of the season, being injured too. So Coach Mark Stootle's been up against it. But how well have they done not only in this league, in the other leagues?
We're also playing ENBL this season, coming second. I mean, that's a huge achievement for
They are.
any team.
I think they're the first British finalist in that competition, which, you know, really speaks volumes about the work that Newcastle are doing. And it's always been a class organisation. You know, you've got fans you can see now standing up and applauding Darius Defoe, you know, from the injury. But they're a class organisation. It's always a full house up in Newcastle. Really pleased with how they've done this year for Coach Mark Stootle.
Absolutely, and winning the trophy back in January as well. Just adding to the organisation's collection, such a winning organisation.
Yeah.
So we hope Darius Defoe's doing okay. He'll get seen to, but it's not something you ever want to see, is it, out there on the court? And as you said, Seneca Knight will check in for Defoe.
So Seneca Knight will play the 5. He'll guard DJ Mitchell, and it'll move Cole Long into guarding Marcus Delpeche. So a little bit of a... Are they going to dare Marcus Delpeche to try take over offensively? I would go with that rather than DJ Mitchell shaking free for those customary three-point shots. So Seneca Knight really taking up the challenge here in guarding Mitchell.
Just over 6 minutes left in the third. Ashton Langford finds Irvin. Irvin passes intercepted by Pulliam. He'll back it out and wait for the rest of the team.
This is where they can spread the floor. Pulliam gaining the turnover. As you can see, it's going to be one-on-one basketball and create for a teammate.
Pulliam rejected by Delpeche, Marcus Delpeche.
If you've not heard it before, Kaz, size matters as Marcus Delpeche comes over and eliminates that basketball at its apex. And this is where the height of Manchester will come into play.
A big block there from Delpeche forces the Eagles to have to reset. Okoro floater. That's such a great shot that Okoro has there, running in the lane.
Yeah, talking about tall, big players. No one could get that from Okoro.
Great ball movement here from Manchester as Mitchell swings it round to DeBose. Back to Mitchell, calling for it at the top of the arc. Deep three from Mitchell. Off the rim, Delpeche fighting for the rebound. Will go out of bounds, it'll be Manchester ball. And a couple of times there, Jason, you felt like Manchester might have had a look, but kept moving the ball.
Yeah, that should have been Newcastle's basketball. I don't know if they're going to talk about it or just let it go, but definitely off Marcus Delpeche. But this is where Delpeche can really assert himself. The block shot at one end, then the offensive rebound, keeping it alive. But going back there, DJ Mitchell should have shot that corner three ball. He's wide open.
Manchester ball. Delpeche hands it back to Ashton Langford. Delpeche can't keep it with Manchester, and it's picked up by James, and it's another turnover for Manchester.
Newcastle got their assignments right. Stick Cole Long on Delpeche.
James against the bow. James, 6 seconds, pulls up from 3. Delpeche with the rebound. It's a 10-point lead on aggregate for the Eagles. Ashton Langford wants to go inside, and again it's stolen away by James as Okoro, and flips the ball up, draws the foul. Mike Okoro heading back to the foul line.
This game getting a little bit out of hand. These next 4 minutes are absolutely vital for Manchester's season.
So we'll see Elijah Ifeje back into the game for Manchester. Ian DeBose takes a seat, and Cody John in alongside him. Cody John with 7 points off the bench.
A great time to insert both of those players, and you're talking about Ifeje and Cody John. Ifeje can catch on the move, he can pass, and he can also score, and he's quick enough to keep the pace of the game. And Cody John into the ball game. If ever you need offense, he's that guy.
That's 2 of 2 from the line for the Eagles. Stretches the lead up to 12 on aggregate. Mitchell looking for a pass to the basket, finds it.
Nice move by DJ Mitchell, not settling for the outside three. He's up to 15 points personal.
Pulliam against Mitchell. James, hands off to Okoro. Into the cutting Knight. Ashton Langford. Manchester need to find some points here. John to the basket. Won't go.
Mike Okoro has his fingerprints all over this second half. 20 points and applying the defensive pressure on anybody who he guards.
Long to Okoro. Working against John. Okoro stops, pulls up. Ball's tipped, it'll go out of bounds. Manchester will get it back.
If you can remember the last game here, it was that game that Okoro got injured. And we wasn't sure whether it was going to be a really, really bad injury or it was going to be okay. Fortunately for the whole league, he was all right, and that's why you can see him out here tonight as the FJ catches and misses the open layup.
And Eagles, Cole Long. Three doesn't go, Manchester coming back. Ashton Langford. He's going to settle things down for the team. Ashton Langford out to Irvin. Irvin, three. It's off. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Eagles up 12 on aggregate. Pulliam. And, oh, what a shot over DJ Mitchell.
Master of inches. He didn't have a layup. He didn't have a jump shot. Just found that little gap to really float that ball over the outstretched arm of the Manchester defense. But right now, 14-point lead by Newcastle. They are in such a commanding position. And once again, turnover by Manchester.
Okoro hands off to Knight. And Knight takes himself up to 18 points personal, 38 points for Mike Okoro and Seneca Knight, and a timeout called as Manchester go down 16 overall.
Coach Herman Mandole absolutely going crazy with his team. He doesn't like what he sees. But definitely not time to get carried away. Manchester have got themselves into a position. We talk about finishing fourth in this league that they had no business doing at Christmas. And they've found themselves now in a playoff game where they would have taken this 2 months ago. So they're still in a position where if they can get going in this next 2 minutes, they can make things interesting. But Newcastle, with all the ball handling and pace of play skills they have on the court in Okoro and Pulliam, they're in a great position, Kaz.
And the Eagles have really been able to take advantage of those Manchester turnovers again. 13 points from turnovers, forcing 14 turnovers from Manchester. 34 points in the paint for the Eagles, and they're a team that average 35 a game with still a quarter and 2 minutes to go. So Manchester going to need to make a run here. And it's the case, isn't it, Jason, of chip into the lead, you take it possession by possession.
I think so. I think so. I mean, you did allude to my maths not being great, but if I work it out right, guys, Newcastle are up 16 right now, and it's just have to keep going, Manchester. You need stop, score, stop in this next minute and change, and then hopefully a couple of three balls thrown in there will help you, but definitely not time to panic.
And for the Eagles as well, what a response after seeing Darius Defoe go down.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying that they're not going to miss Darius Defoe. Of course they have, any team would. However, it sometimes works out that you can play a different style of basketball and stumble on something very, very efficient, which they exactly have.
Ashton Langford to Mitchell. Mitchell meets Pulliam, and foul called on Pulliam. That'll be his third team foul for the Eagles.
So Newcastle have gone into a matchup zone, and what it means is we dare you to shoot the three ball from the outside with a hand in your face, because the guards that are out there, and I do allude to all 5 of those players, can move their feet and stay in front on anybody.
Zelpesh. Hands off to Mitchell. Mitchell pulls the trigger, spins out, Del Pesh and Knight fighting for the ball, but it's Knight that comes away with it. Seneca Knight with a double-double. His 11th rebound along with 18 points. Newcastle looking in control here late in the third. Pulliam pulls up, long two. Ashton Langford has Del Pesh up ahead. John's there. John. Hook shot. That's a nice Del Pesh-style hook shot.
Yeah, beautiful move by Cody John. They've probably been working in practice out together.
It's under 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Pulliam kicks it out to the corner. James, three. Off the rim. Del Pesh with the rebound. Ashton Langford and picks up the foul. So sideline ball for Manchester. That's the fourth now on the Eagles.
Just really frustrating night for Ashton Langford. He has got 8 points. He is playing well, but every time he gets his head down and has the momentum, Newcastle are smart enough to just stop his play. Getting to take it out on the side. It's been very difficult for Ashton Langford tonight, but
Ian DeBose come into the game. That's the third foul on Pulliam. John, final minute of the third quarter. John has Mitchell. Mitchell, too strong to the corner. And that'll go out of bounds. So the Eagles get it back.
Manchester now have 15 turnovers. Too many in this second half. They had 8 in the first half, but with a quarter still to play, they've nearly doubled that.
Long from the foul line, hits! Ashton Langford finds a way, can't get it to drop. Del Pesh grabs the rebound, puts it in, and he's going to go to the line. A chance for an extra one.
Cole Long with the foul line jumper that he's done so well all year. Marcus Del Pesh responds and keeps his team in the game. That's a big emotional play by Marcus Del Pesh.
And that's foul number 4 on Josh Ward-Hibbert for the Eagles. So Del Pesh at the line for the 3-point play. Hits the free throw. 23 seconds left. Shot clock's off. James to Long. Long. And Ashton Langford got a hand on the ball, knocks it away. Manchester have it. Mitchell needs to get it over the line, and a foul will be called. And with the Eagles on 5 team fouls, that's going to put DJ Mitchell at the line.
It's a big play, and we talk about big plays in games right towards the end of quarters games. How big was the last minute in Newcastle? Was a 3-point game, Manchester were down, then all of a sudden Newcastle score, then they get the steal at half court. The careless turnover by Manchester, and it's a 7-point deficit, and right now, that's big in this game.
It is, and it's just it's how quickly the game can turn like that.
DJ Mitchell, you would expect to make these 2. Curse of the commentator hopefully won't come into play for the Manchester fans. If he makes these 2, it's really set up for a really contested fourth quarter.
So we'll see.
That's if you can stop Pulliam and Okoro going down the other end and scoring.
We'll see Ian DeBose back in for Manchester as Mitchell at the foul line. First one gets the roll off the rim. Down 5 in the venue, down 12 on aggregate. And Mitchell, 2 of 2 from the line. 8.6 seconds for the Eagles. Okoro gets it over the line, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, swings it to Knight inside, and Knight again finds himself alone underneath the basket. Manchester caught sleeping there.
What a pass by Okoro, but Cody John fell asleep on that weak side. If you're going to win games, you cannot give up plays like that, and you can see that's a devastating blow to Manchester. You wouldn't think one basket could harm a team so much, but at this point, It's massive.
And it's those kind of plays that kind of take the air out of the building a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does just that.
So a 73-67 lead here in the venue for the Eagles. That gives the Eagles a 13-point lead on aggregate. We're looking at that three-point shooting, Jason. Manchester 35%, having hit 7, have gone better than they did on Friday night. The Eagles only 4 of 14, but they're scoring in other ways. 17 of 18 from the foul line, 94%.
They are, but you know, it doesn't show the turnovers on this one, but the turnovers I think is possibly 16 now Manchester are at. You know, and they've just coughed the ball up with regularity in this second half, and that's what's hurt them, because it's allowed Newcastle to gain momentum. And the thing you do want when you're low in numbers in terms of your team is easy buckets and contested ones at the other end, and Newcastle have had that.
Manchester edging the battle of the boards, 32-29. 10 offensive rebounds for the Eagles, leading to 8 second chance points. 8 offensive for Manchester and 6 second chance points, but the margins are so thin in these games, Jason.
It is just that. I'm just watching these guys shoot from half court. I think I did better than that, Kaz, but yeah, this fourth quarter is all poised.
So 10 more minutes to play. 73-67, Newcastle lead over Manchester Basketball. The winner moves on to the semi-finals. They'll be facing the London Lions. So can Manchester cut into this deficit? It'll be Eagles ball to start things off in the fourth. Long with space from 3. And a foul underneath the basket.
The ball's called for holding on Seneca Knight. Seneca Knight going right to the front of the rim as he always does, and the ball's just face guarding him, you would say. They don't really like that, the referees, when you just go after someone fake, you know, not in a box out position. So I think that's why the foul was called.
You see DJ Mitchell back in. DeBose takes a seat. Sorry, Delpeche takes a seat. John. And foul called on the Eagles. That's on Okoro.
Yeah, they don't mind those fouls, Kaz. They've really broken things up for Manchester in terms of momentum. You know, right there, DJ Mitchell was wide open on the left side and just didn't evolve because of the foul.
Foul there was on Long, apologies, not Okoro. That's his third. Ashton Langford to Mitchell, into the corner. DeBose driving baseline, passes out. It's picked off by James. Christian James has done that so many times. He feels like he has. He's just been in the right place, right time, takes the ball out of the air.
This zone has really thrown Manchester off. It's really caused a lot of pressure, but here's an open one by DeBose as he dunks the basketball through, and he goes right by Okoro and glides through the sky, sends that one down. Still life in this building.
And a timeout called by Eagles head coach Mark Stootzel, wants to talk things over. DeBose cuts the aggregate score to 11.
What a play, Kaz, Ian DeBose.
That's certainly re-energized the crowd out there. And Ian DeBose, he's been scoring this season, but again, he's a lockdown defender, and that's still almost reminiscent of what we saw him do against the Caledonia Gladiators in tight games earlier this year.
Yeah, and it not only gives your team 2 points, it gives your team the confidence to say, we're not giving up. You know, this is a 4-point game on the night, and it's only 11 with 9 minutes remaining. And there's still a lot of time in this ball game.
And that's a lot of time left, isn't it? You've just said it, Jason. 9:12 to play. So let's see how Manchester come out of this timeout. If that DeBose dunk, and those DeBose dunks, they've been becoming a staple of his game, haven't they?
They have. He did tell me off earlier in the season. I mentioned they were sneaky dunks. He said they're not sneaky. I can get those regularly, so they're what you call expected dunks.
And for the Eagles, Mike Okoro and Seneca Knight, 20 points each. They have been so big for this Eagles team. So teams back out on court.
As the Eagles will get us back underway as we're on TV.
Eagles ball, Pulliam. James. James will slow it down, hands back to Pulliam.
Manchester going into 2-3 zone, now in the man.
Knight with a fadeaway, shot bounces out, Long tips it, James will try a three, Irvin with the rebound and bumped. That's gonna give Knight his first foul.
The two number 7s going after that basketball, and they really went after it, and you just subtly said bumped. I mean, those are two big guys who are really going at each other, so it's more than a bump, but two strong competitors in Zach Irvin and Seneca Knight.
Manchester basketball to Boast. Out to John. John, corner three. Doesn't drop, offensive rebound for Manchester. Mitchell lines it up, too much on it.
Tough break by Manchester. DJ Mitchell wide open, was really wanting that one to go, but it stays at that 11-point cushion.
Pulliam runs into traffic, kicks it out to Knight. Has John on him, 5 seconds. Knight. Irvin gets it to Ashton Langford, to Boast. John, he's going to try another three in the corner, chases it down. Short jumper.
Bad decision by Cody John. He had an open DJ Mitchell there for an open three and took that three ball. His jersey's hanging off.
Pulliam. Newcastle can use the clock if they want to here. 5 seconds. Pulliam to Knight. Knight with the time running down, and Seneca Knight just continues to make tough shot after tough shot. To Boast, takes it to the basket, draws the foul.
Going to call an offensive foul. They're saying Ian DeBose really threw the basketball out to initiate the contact, but on the other end, if you see it, Manchester are coming time and time again to try and flick some pain on Newcastle, but unfortunately, that man with 22 points, pardon the pun, but he's a knight in shining armor as Seneca just keeps on rolling.
He has been absolutely crucial for the Eagles, and it will be Eagles ball from the end line. Manchester down 13 here on aggregate. And the Eagles have just been able to withstand the pressure from Manchester. Pulliam tonight will get it back. Pulliam round the outside. Against Irvin. Pulliam looking for some daylight. Reverse is no good. Ball's out of bounds. Going to stay with the Eagles as last touch Manchester.
So if Darius Defoe is in the game, they usually go screen and roll, and they use him because he's a great screener and open foul line jump shooter. But now they're spreading the floor and they're leaving the defense to guard Pulliam one-on-one. It's not an easy task.
So he won't go. John racing down the court. Okoro chasing him down. John will put it in for two.
Cody John saying he got hit in the head, but Mike Okoro nearly got that block. Nice move by Cody John.
Pulliam. Ball's knocked away. Pulliam picks it back up. Doubled by Ashton Langford, and Mitchell hasn't got anywhere to go, and the ball will go out of bounds. That was a great defensive stance there from Mitchell and Ashton Langford.
Well, you just see Mitchell in the picture. Give him a lot of credit. You know, he didn't get it going at Newcastle, and he's missed a few open ones here, but has he played with some heart? He sure has. All season, he's really played hard. He looks absolutely gassed, too.
Ashton Langford tries to get to the basket. It's off the side of the rim.
Ashton Langford coming up limping as well. Looked like he may have pulled a calf there, extended it. Hopefully it's a little bit of cramp, but he's going to have the inevitable task of guarding Pulliam.
James goes against Mitchell, and jump ball is called. It will be Manchester. Oh. Call on the floor. Looked like it was going to be a jump ball. Was it a travel call? Decided if it was a travel call. Players just having a few words, and refs will discuss the call.
Yeah, if anything, a double foul will sort this one out, because both players just being aggressive and nothing really that bad. I mean, good play by DJ Mitchell to cause the jump ball, but both players just squaring up, and it's been an emotional series, so, you know, you can't really get too caught up in all that. You know, I don't think too much punishment will be effective here. I think they'll just move on. Maybe a double foul, or maybe have a word with the coaches.
We can see Darius Defoe for the Eagles has made it back to the bench, so good to see him. That doesn't look like he'll be playing there, but good to see him back out with the team.
Well, it says a lot about the culture. You know, Darius Defoe, I think 28 years he's been in the league, and he's coming back out here to support his team after what looks like a kind of concerning injury to his left foot. Sure what they're going to call here.
So double unsportsmanlike foul. So it'll be on Mitchell for Manchester.
Good refereeing, really good refereeing. Just take the sting out of things, but also allowing the players not to get caught up in too much.
Mitchell and James. So James on his third foul, Mitchell on his first.
Cody John wearing a number 11 now, comes back in the game. His jersey was torn, so he's switched numbers. Now Cody John moving from number 5 to number 11.
Had to make a quick change there on the sideline.
See if that's got a change of fortune in his scoring.
So the double foul cancels it down, and it'll be Manchester basketball. John goes against Ward Hibbert. John inside, hangs in the air, banks it in!
And wearing the number 11, just like Trae Young, he says, everyone get out of the way and I'll go to work. Kisses that ball off the glass.
And a technical foul called.
See, I don't like that. I think you have to say a lot at this point in the game. You have to really, really go after someone. Maybe he did, but right now, this is too much at stake.
That was on John, his first. And Okoro nets the free throw.
And Manchester trying to get back into this one. He's trying to force the issue. He does. He'd probably be mad at himself, but really, you gotta let that one go. Turn a blind eye and walk away and let everything proceed. Maybe the next dead ball, just talk to him, but anyway, we move on to the next play.
Just under 6 minutes to play here. Newcastle lead by 10 on aggregate. Pulliam. Newcastle using time on the clock. Pulliam against Mitchell. Long thought about the shot, back to Pulliam. Pulliam puts it up, spins out. Mitchell secures it for Manchester. John gonna take it all the way, too short. Ward Hibbert has it for the Eagles. Pulliam, and again, the Eagles using the time on the clock here. Time's on their side. Pulliam takes it to the basket. Irvin with the rebound.
DJ Mitchell wide open.
Ashton Langford in the corner. Three will go! And Mackay Ashton Langford ties the game in the venue. Manchester down 7 on aggregate. The crowd now on their feet.
That time, Cody John, the right read to kick it across to DJ Mitchell, and the touch pass allows a 7-point deficit. We are back on. We have a ball game here in Manchester.
Pulliam tonight. Knight's had the hot hand for the Eagles all game long. Off the rim, ball's tipped. Long gets it, and a travel ball. Ian DeBose forcing the turnover.
Ian DeBose going after that basketball like he always does. Got his just rewards for just pursuing something that wasn't there, but This crowd is alive right now. A three-point field goal would really raise the roof off this building.
We'll see Joshua Hibbert take a seat for the Eagles. Christian James back in.
So the question is, if we look at strategy now, will they stay in this 2-3 zone? It's worked so well. It looks like they're going to do, look, that being Newcastle, or are they going to pick up man? They're going to play man-to-man, Kaz. Switch on everything.
Mitchell pulls up from deep.
Wow.
Gets it to go! DJ Mitchell, big buckets, Mitchell!
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. DJ Mitchell steps up when it's needed.
Eagles lead down to 4 on aggregate. The crowd are making noise here at the National Basketball Performance Centre. Okoro with the soft jumper, doesn't go to Boast with the rebound. John has it for Manchester. Out to Mitchell. Mitchell catch and shoot 3. Goes off the rim. The roof would have come off the venue if that would have gone down, Jason.
That got me standing up, Kaz. DJ Mitchell wide open from the wing. Newcastle dodging a bullet, but the emotion running through his veins as he caught that basketball. Here's the previous one right between the eyes. But Manchester are right there. 4-point ball game if you're watching on aggregate. All that's needed is a few stops and a few scores for the home team.
Chance of defense echoing throughout the venue as Mitchell meets Okoro in the air. Big block, Mitchell, time and time again. John driving to the basket. It's tipped. Long comes away with it for the Eagles.
Right now, a lid on that basket at the left side. They just will not go down. But mano here as Pulliam will play against Mitchell. They go into Seneca Knight.
Knight, as he has done all game, takes it to the basket, can't get it to drop. John Irvin up ahead. Irvin will take it. Zach Irvin brings Manchester within 2 and will have a timeout called. Jason, the crowd on their feet. We're on our feet. The energy in here is electric.
And Zach Irvin will go back at this front row. In these courtside seats, he's been the man right of late in these games, and he extends Manchester's little mini run. 5-point ball game they're up tonight. Make that a 2-point deficit on aggregate. They are still alive, and if you cannot question anything, it's been Coach Mandole's team's fighting spirit all year.
And Cody John has really led this charge after that missed corner 3. After changing to his number 11 jersey, he's been on a roll.
But it was percolating because you had Cody John with a few open ones. He missed at the rim. You had DJ Mitchell had a good look. And Zach Irvin finally gets that one to go down with his trusty finger roll with the wrong hand. But right now, this building is electric.
So an 81-76 lead for Manchester on the court. 154-152 on aggregate to the Eagles. So Manchester down 2 here, but Jason, you really feel like the momentum has swung Manchester's way, and I can barely hear you over the roar of the crowd.
Yeah, and that's no problems with that. That's what we want in the building. But Coach Mark Stuttle and Coach Mandole really have to be the calmest people in the whole arena. Because coming out here, Newcastle, I would say they spread the floor. I would go with Pulliam at the top of the key and maybe Okoro. Try get a switch to get a bigger Manchester guy guarding one of those guards. At the other end, you just have to out-rebound and let's run. Let's go play ball at the other end for Manchester. So 2 contrasting styles now. Half court for Newcastle, speed for Manchester. Which one will win out?
So let's find out. 2:37 to play in the 4th. Pulliam passes over to Long. Long to Okoro. Ball's tipped away inside. Manchester come away with it. Ashton Langford gonna slow it down. Had John up ahead. As Irvin on the baseline. Stripped by Long.
Good defense by Pulliam. Right there, picks the pocket of Irvin.
Pulliam and gets that to fall. Eagles.
What a shot.
4.
What a shot by Pulliam.
To Bose. Just under 2 minutes to play in the 4th. De Bose calling for a screen. Irvin will give him one. And De Bose goes to the basket. Short. Off the left, and a ball is going to stay with Manchester.
Coach Stewart just telling his players, be quiet, do not pick up a technical. Seneca Knight came across and was adjudged to knock Zach Irvin in the back. So Manchester will keep possession.
So that's a third, so a foul call, that's a third on Okoro.
Oh, it was on Okoro. It looked like it was on Seneca Knight, but...
So both teams on 4 team fouls. The next foul by either team will send them to the line. Irvin, hands off to John.
3 ball coming up.
John dancing around the outside, goes in, banks it in! Cody John takes the contact and the foul, goes to the line for a chance at a 3-point play and a chance to cut into this deficit.
So Cody John unconscious in terms of sharing the basketball at times, but right now you always need that guy that's just borderline disgustingly arrogant. And Cody John is that. He'll just say, give me the ball, let me make it happen. And right there, what a play, big time play by Cody John.
15 points off the bench for John. We spoke about him as that spark, that energy player, and he has just brought that intensity every single second he's been out there on the court. We've got 90 seconds to play as referees on the court just checking something.
So Manchester now will be able to say, they're probably checking Cody John's number. Who is that guy?
Who's this number 11 that's just come out and scored everywhere?
You would expect Cody John to make the free throw, which would make it a 1-point game for viewers watching. Concentrate on the aggregate score we've got on the screen, but make it a 1-point game. Then Manchester have pressed in these situations, but Newcastle, that will force them to speed the game up. So watch Manchester try to come out and press. As they do, they'll go into a 2-2-1.
John hits the free throw. Manchester down 1 here. Pulliam has the ball. Doubled. James back to Pulliam.
Newcastle handling it well.
Pulliam round the outside. Comes up to Long. Time running down. 2 seconds, 1 second. Eagles will need to put something up in a 24-second shot clock violation. Manchester bringing their defensive intensity when it matters. 1:06
Just what the
to play.
doctor ordered. And would you believe it, Manchester down 16 points on aggregate, have a chance to take the lead. Right now, don't get over emotional if you are Manchester. A Zach Irving backup would just be what the doctor ordered right here now.
John controls it for Manchester. Final minute of the game. John against Pulliam, pulls up, 3, doesn't go.
Bad shot. Bad shot. That's when McAllister Langford has to come and get that basketball. Take it out of Cody John's hands.
Pulliam sets things up. 35 seconds left in the game. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pulliam dancing against the post. Pulls up from the foul line and hits.
Wow.
And that is what he's done all season long. And he'll put the Eagles up 3 overall. So 28.3 seconds to go. A timeout called. Jason, Manchester here. Now, it's a lot of time, 28.3 seconds. Do you need a 3-pointer straight away?
It's an eternity. No, but if you're wide open, you take it. But Trey Pulliam there, that is the advantage of having a guy like him and Okoro on the floor. They can create their own shot. What a big-time shot. Can Manchester respond? Whatever you do, Kaz, you go fast. So if it's the 3-ball that's there, take it. But if it's a 2-point shot and then you can foul, go ahead. But right now, you have to just go as quick as you can and get anything quick.
So Manchester, 9 made threes to the Eagles, 4. This has just been back and forth, Jason. What a relentless fourth quarter we've had. This run from Manchester. It's been spearheaded by Cody John.
Yeah, Manchester though on 18 turnovers, which has been their Achilles heel in getting themselves in a hole. And in terms of free throw shooting, I would say Newcastle will be on top.
How good has Trey Pulliam been? 16 points, hitting that big shot there from round the foul line. He's got 8 assists as well and 5 rebounds, just doing a bit of everything out there on the court. So Manchester will have the ball from the sideline. Down 4 in the venue, down 3 on aggregate. Irvin hands off to Ashton Langford. Pulliam comes away with a steal, takes it to the basket and is fouled. And he has just come up big every single time he's needed to.
Well, the worst case scenario happened for Manchester. We were talking about, is it a 3, is it a 2? It was absolutely nothing as Trey Pulliam stepped in that gap and really just pinched that ball off Ashton Langford. You've got 2 real elite point guards going at it, and Trey Pulliam just wins that battle.
And Trey Pulliam, an 85% shooter from the foul line this season, has a chance to stretch this to a 2-possession game for the Eagles.
He's 4 for 4 today. Make that 4 for 5. Wow.
So if Pulliam hits, it will still be a 2-possession game, but 4 points, maybe slightly more manageable to come back from than 5 for Manchester.
Yeah.
Pulliam. Seconds, good. So a 4-point lead overall for the Eagles. Manchester pushing the pace. Ashton Langford going to take it to the basket. Too high off the glass, ball's loose, and a foul called. Knight will go to the line for 2.
That looks like all she wrote. Seneca Knight with his 14th rebound tonight. He has been one of the players that has really made the difference here in Manchester.
And that'll be.
It just looks like one step too far for this Manchester basketball team.
And that'll be the 5th foul on Ian DeBose, so he'll head to the bench. So Jason, if we're talking MVPs, there's been some great performances out there. Seneca Knight, 22 points, 13 rebounds off the bench. Micah Corey with 21, 3 rebounds as Knight misses his first free throw.
Yeah, Trey Pulliam, Micah Koru, Christian James over these two games, Cole Long and Darius Defoe, who's out there, have all been huge. But Seneca Knight on the foul line.
Knight misses the second free throw, so misses both. Manchester still down 4. Mitchell pulls up for 3, knocks it down. DJ Mitchell brings Manchester back within 8.9 seconds to go.
It's not over yet, Kaz. I was wrong. I said that's all she wrote, and DJ Mitchell says, hold on a second. If they can foul the right person here, can they get one more good look at tying this ball game or even winning if anyone misses a free throw? The question is, who do you foul? And on these occasions, I don't think you really look at percentages too much.
As we can see, Mitchell's 3 there again, just racing down the court, pulls up. It's what he does best. It's what he's done all season long.
So the guys you cannot foul are Micah Koru, because he's that good, and you also can't foul Trey Pulliam. Percentages go out the window for me. Who hasn't shot the ball in a while, who's on the floor? Maybe it's Cole Long. I know he can shoot the free throws, but he hasn't had it for a while. You know, you're talking nerves at the free throw line. Yeah.
So teams coming back out on court. Manchester down 1 on aggregate.
Seneca Knight, who's had a great game, he's just missed the second one. So do you foul him again, or do you just steal it? Does Ashton Langford just take this basketball?
So I was going to say to you, Jason, there, so how long do you give it before you need to intentionally foul, because you don't want to take too much time off the clock?
You have to on the catch. If it's not a steal, you have to foul. Yeah.
Okay, so Seneca Knight will inbound. Carey's in the game.
Switch on everything.
Knight looking to get the ball in, has James. James will be fouled by John, 7.4 on the clock.
See, I don't get this. I don't get why you hold the ball and get fouled. I think it's an American thing, because if you go into Europe and you see teams play, they will pass the ball and let the clock go. Whereas
play keep away.
Yeah, and then not to put pressure on themselves on the free throw. Because right now, Christian James has to make both for Manchester to have to score a three. If he misses one, Manchester can win this ball game. So I would pass the ball around. Luckily for Newcastle, he makes the first.
Christian James, an 83.1% shooter from the line this season.
So can we expect a timeout and the ball being advanced, you would think?
You would think so if he makes this one, as Manchester will be down 3, currently down 2. He does go 2 of 2 from the line. They're not going to take a timeout. 6 seconds. Ashton Langford will throw the ball up. I think Ashton Langford thought there wasn't as much time left on the clock as there was. 3 seconds. Coach Mandole talking to the team there, but Ashton Langford looked like he wasn't sure on the time left.
I think Trey Pulliam was going to foul, so he wouldn't allow Ashton Langford to shoot the three. But Ashton Langford read the play. Trey Pulliam, we're probably going to see it again. But it looked like, I don't know if he did or he didn't. We're too far away to make that call. The referee is right there. But only a replay will tell us whether that was a foul or not.
So James is at the line, and a chance to extend this now to a 2-possession game, which would ice it for the Eagles. And that's a big shot from James.
There's your ball game right there, Kaz. As Coach Herman Mandole has done a great job.
Is that a technical free throw for the Eagles to have one? So a technical foul. I think we've missed who that was called on. But the Eagles have the ball. Okoro has it, and they'll dribble it out. And the Newcastle Eagles move on to face the London Lions in the semi-finals. Congratulations to them. A hard-fought victory over the Manchester Basketball. Manchester winning on the day, 87-84, but the Eagles coming out on top on aggregate after a short-handed roster they have out there. A huge game from Seneca Knight, 22 points, 14 rebounds for him. Mike Okoro, 21 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists, along with 3 steals. So just to kind of recap what happens there at the end, we had a coach technical that was on Manchester's head coach Herman Mandole after the, so Ashton Langford shot, as Jason said, looked like perhaps he was trying to draw the foul. Coach Mandole given a technical, which is where Christian James hit the free throw. Ball went back with the Eagles. So after a little bit of a frantic end to the game, the Newcastle Eagles will be moving on to the semi-final to face the London Lions. And for Manchester Basketball, that will be the end of their season. A team that have played so hard throughout the regular season and into the playoffs. Coach Herman Mandole taking over just a couple of months ago, really turned the fortunes of the team around. And had done, we've seen some absolutely incredible games there at the National Basketball Performance Centre throughout the season. Manchester, that three-point shooting really turned it on again in the fourth quarter. 10 made threes in the game to Newcastle's 4, but Newcastle 22 of 26 made free throws, shooting 85%, 15 of 18 for Manchester, 83%, and Manchester edging the battle of the boards, 44 rebounds to 42. But the Newcastle Eagles come out on top in an absolute thriller of a game. Darius Defoe went out early due to injury. Obviously, we hope he's doing okay, and the Eagles were just able to answer And we'll go down courtside with Jason, who has MVP Seneca Knight.
So it's Newcastle Eagles that prevail in this hard-fought contest here in Manchester. I'm with Illinois State graduate Seneca Knight. Seneca will get to you in a minute, but two players that really played well for you. Pulliam had 17 points and Okoro had 21. Those two guys were huge for you today.
Man, were they? I mean, we're a very talented team and we all believe in each other and then just play off of each other. It helps us. Every time we're on the court, we know that any one of us could go out there and score and get it done.
And Seneca, coming off the bench, you were really humble and you really did your job. You were still the best player out here, 22 points and 14 rebounds. You'll be playing London in the next round. How does that feel?
It feels great. I mean, we're going to have some battles with London this year, and we're looking forward to being competitive. We know it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be fun.
And Seneca, we're going to bring your coach over now, and you know you had a lot of guys. We're going to let you go enjoy that with your teammates, so you go ahead. We'll talk to your coach right now. But Coach Mark Stoutel, what a performance by you guys out there on the road.
Some toughness and some doggedness, I think, you know. Tough place to play. They sold this place out today and we couldn't hear each other on the floor. Foe goes down, we're down on bodies. Josh Wood-Hibbett is an absolute warrior and trying to play through stuff he maybe shouldn't be playing through. Yeah, so, you know, the fourth quarter was tough for us, but we made some plays when we needed to, and over the 18 minutes, really proud of my team.
And everyone who plays for Newcastle is always proud to play for this club. None more so than you, but there's another guy who's really, really proud, and he hurt himself tonight, Darius Defoe. Can you give us any updates on him?
Not yet. I just heard that he refused going to the hospital because he wanted to be out here with his team, so we'll try and make sure we get him assessed. But again, you hear, you know, the travelling supporters there. We hear them in a loud place to play, so that's a really proud win for everyone in Newcastle. Really proud of my team.
And it says a lot for the culture of this basketball club. Good luck in the next round against London, and good luck however far it goes this year, Mark. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks.
Head coach Mark Stoutel for the Eagles there, alongside MVP Seneca Knight. Seneca Knight off the bench, 22 points, a huge 14 rebounds and an assist. He came up big for the Eagles. Alongside him, Trey Pulliam, 17 points, 8 assists and 5 rebounds. And Mike Okoro, 21 points. You see that Knight, he was just absolutely everywhere for the Eagles on the floor. And it will be the Newcastle Eagles moving on to the semi-finals. They will face the London Lions. The Leicester Riders and the Sheffield Sharks also make up the other semi-final game. You can catch all the action live on DAZN all season long as teams fight it out for a ticket to the O2 Arena. And it's been a busy weekend in the SLB. It was Sheffield overcoming that 10-point deficit against the Cheshire Phoenix. The Lions held off the 89ers. And the Leicester Riders with a couple of big wins against the Bristol Flyers. Manchester end their season on their home court, but for a team that were low down in the standings, looking for some wins earlier in the season, they have had a fantastic turnaround. And I'm sure they'll be back bigger and better than ever next season. So a big thank you to everybody who's joined us watching live on DAZN. From myself, Caroline Bullock, and from Jason Swain, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
A new dawn has risen in British hoops as Super League basketball has taken centre stage. But this is about more than basketball. This is where legends rise and rivalries are written. Every game is a battle, every moment is electric, and every fan is a part of the journey. It's time to stand tall as the future unfolds and Super League basketball gets set to be bigger and better than anything we've seen before. New season, new stories,
new champions to be crowned. From the opening tip to the final buzzer, every second counts. Every shot matters. Nothing is given, everything is earned. So who will rise, who will dominate, and who will make history?
A new dawn rises, where champions emerge and redefine the game, where limits are tested and greatness is unleashed. This is when legends are born. Super League Basketball. A new dawn is here.